Magavan and Melanine, and well met indeed. I'm Eric Galadothan, the head of Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as the Woodland realm. Thranduil's realm, Woodland realm, the realm. I'm rambling. The realm. We have got Legolas attacking Dwinberg, a seat about as far north as the Mirkwood still have, save for Illidan, all the way over there, which they still hold. And of course, Thranduil, our king, resides in Ostingal to the south. And we're making a substantial amount of money, which is very good. Very good indeed. Check what we got here. Nothing really. Got some construction coming along there. Erin Runen built what it was building. We could get some woodland horse archers there if we so wished. But we can't give them for free, so we'll pass on that for the moment. Erin Thollen, 433. A long ways yet to upgrade. Right, well I think we'll just end the turn, to be honest.
My lord.
We don't need you in the Narrows of Mirkwood anymore, so... Now, here's the dilemma. Do we cut southwest and try and take Dol Guldur down early and fast? Or do we break out to the east, where the bulk of their empire actually is? They've got Illidan up here, they've got whatever that one was called, Rawberg. This one's, is it Dorthalu? Yeah. Dorthalu, and they've got that one there, Burra something, Southis. And of course Dor Norhak, deep to the south. Whereas on this side, if you take down Dol Guldur, I mean Roscabel's only a village, which is pretty useless, and as is Achnodion. So I don't know, but then Dol Guldur is their main power base, and it's likely to be where Camul is. If he's... No, we get a message when he comes back, don't we? So we're unsure at the moment as to where he'll actually be. Right, we'll merge all of those together, leave behind that archer unit and that unit there. I say that we swing round. Legolas will take Dwinberg, we'll take Roscabel. That will force the... Ah, but then the orcs could push up. Dale have got us covered here, though, so the threat really is... Oh, look, that's their capital. That's cheeky. That's just a citadel. It's just difficult. If we take Dol Guldur fast... If we take Dol Guldur full stop, Camul will not come back to Dol Guldur. He'll go back to Mordor. So it takes away a major threat. Of course, we've got Captain Musgash just there, but... no, I think we're going to hang here until Legolas has cleaned up Dwinberg. We'll hold as an anchor in Ostingal. Legolas can then sweep round and take Roscabel, perhaps even go as far as Achnodion, and then decide. And then we'll come on Dol Guldur in like a pincer move.
Your order.
And our diplomat is heading out to try and find Dorwinian's town,
here.
which I can't remember where it is. It's
I
around
shall
here
continue
somewhere.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow's
We'll find
journey
it.
planned out.
Now, something I was going to mention in the last one, but I talked about a lot of things in the last one, and so I'll mention in this one, is that Big Fellow 1 has again done a top 5 or top 10 unit list, and this time it's about bodyguards on foot. The Army for the Alliance script has kicked in.
Sound the alarm!
And I have to confess that I really enjoy watching them. As I've said many times, I don't really watch Let's Plays. I've never really found them that interesting. Part of the reason why I find it so amazing that you all find these interesting. But watching someone else discuss DaC's features in a kind of analytical and theoretical light, and listing units by their strengths and weaknesses, I find it really interesting. And I am really enjoying his little series. So, but that is obviously my side. Now, Legolas is under attack. Legolas has got quite a good little army, actually. And Captain Nagmuz, is it Nagmuz? Yeah, Nagmuz has got 2 units of Stalkers, which are useless. A unit of Mirkwood Hunters, which their sheer numbers mean that they can take down people. And the Orc Raiders are, again, nothing. Slightly better than average. But he's got a host, and he's got Mirkwood Uruk Blades, who are starting to actually get good. But nothing really threatening us. So
Right to the end.
I would suggest that you head over to Big Fellow and check out his top 10. Oh, my clock is totally skew. I bet someone's dusted. Check out his top 10 list for units on foot. It does inspire me to want to do some more DaC related things, and in fact that is the angle I want to kind of go down. In terms of my YouTube path at the moment, We had a surge of subscribers recently and a surge in viewing time. Everything about YouTube grew massively very recently, and it's all because of those few lore videos that suddenly loads of people found. I don't know how, but they did, and they got really high view rates, and everything that comes with that came to the channel. But those people that subscribed because of those only subscribed because of those lore videos, and I never want the lore I never wanted or want, I must confess, the lore videos to be a staple of the channel. Sorry, I can hear my niece talking outside the door. And I didn't want those to be what, I don't know, I don't want those to be the flagship thing that the channel does. They were always intended as a tiny little offshoot that I did for those who played DaC and just wanted to know a little bit more about the nations that they were playing as. They were never intended as a big grand series to tell you everything about Lord of the Rings. But evidently they're quite popular. They are the most watched videos that I have on the channel. But I don't want that to be what the channel is about, because I can't do them very often. I don't, A, have the desire to do them very often. I don't have the time to do them very often. And they require a great deal of research. And even the amount of research I've done, I still get pulled up on minor things left, right and centre. And it just bores me, to be honest. Sorry, not my microphone. I can appreciate people wanting to correct you when you say things wrong, but as the videos get older and older and older and older, all people do nowadays is correct them. And you do get the odd positive one, but and it's just like draining. So I wanted the real focus of the channel to be DaC, most first and foremost, as it originally was, with all of those faction overviews that I did, and obviously the campaign updates with versions, with version 0.52 and version 1 of DaC. And those are the things that I want the channel to be for. So it's a tricky one. Why did I get onto talking about that? I've totally forgotten, lost my string. Oh, I can't remember. But the moral of the story is that I'd like people to come to the channel for DaC information and modding information, and just gameplay of DaC like this, or gameplay of the odd other thing that I might come to play. And I never wanted it to be about the lore videos. But a huge surge in popularity on my channel recently has been the lore videos. So I'm just enduring it settling back to normal. But the point of the story was that I would also quite like to branch out into some videos that focus a little bit more on in detail on DaC. So no, I wouldn't go as far as a top 10, because I don't want to step on big fellows' toes in that regard. And also, I don't think that'd be that enjoyable to do.
Much in our favor.
But I would consider things like assessing the stats of like which cavalry unit is actually the very best, with every single thing taken into account, to try and dissuade the image that the elves are so OP. Because when you look at maybe the fact that the elves cost 5 times as much as another unit, it balances itself out. So I'd like to look at things like that. I mean, I would quite like to update the faction overviews, because many of them are horrifically out of date now, and as someone even moaned at me quite incessantly. Obviously at the moment, in the released version that you all play, the Saruman ring script doesn't actually work. And somebody watched the Isengard video and moaned at me about that, because even though that video is a year old. But little things like that, a lot of the unit stats, like the Harad one, is now completely wrong because we've totally changed their roster. Likewise, the Anduin one is now completely wrong because we've totally changed their roster. So I would look to do some updated faction overviews for the more recent changes. A lot of the changes could be covered with broad strokes and covered with and the videos that I did when we released version 1.01, where I just gave you like a 40-minute video with all of the major changes across the whole game. But I would be eager to do some like updated faction overviews, but I wouldn't do them for every faction. No way. But that'd certainly be looked to be something that I might do. So there's things like that. But basically, I just don't want the main draw of the channel to be the lore. I want the lore to be, which is why I'm considering doing the lore videos once every month or even every couple of months, because also the lore is a very finite topic, whereas DaC is constantly changing, and as long as I'm currently in the DaC team, that means I'm abreast of all the changes and I can discuss those at length, whereas the lore is very much done and dusted. I mean, there's the Beren and Luthien book coming out in the UK. It comes out in May of 2017, I think, May or March. I think it's May. And But that book isn't really going to tell you anything you didn't already know, because it covers a story that we all already know, that's written into some detail in the Silmarillion and Unfinished Tales, and the book is just going to basically flesh out the story a bit more, because you get a bit of a whistle-stop tour of it in the Silmarillion. But we're not going to get any new books anytime soon. Any actual new books that tell us anything completely new that we are just totally unaware of. So it's a finite topic, as I say. And I also, with the lore, I only really want to talk about things that I am interested in, which is why up until this point I have never yet done a First Age related video, because the First Age is an area that I know very, very little about. I was always far more interested in the Númenóreans. I've read everything I can about Númenóreans, and I was much more interested in just the Third Age, because my desire to learn about Lord of the Rings came from the films. And the films obviously cover entirely the Third Age, and it started there, so that's where my enjoyment came. And I read back to the First Age through the Silmarillion and through Unfinished Tales, but it never really grabbed me as much as the Third Age did with the stories, because of course the Lord of the Rings, the book series, is an actual story. Tolkien doesn't go into great detail explaining his world; he just tells a story. And then if you want to learn more about that world, he does have those materials there. But the Silmarillion is entirely a scene-setting thing. There aren't really any stories within it. The whole thing is just essentially scene-setting. It whistle-stops through the creation. It jumps through almost the whole of the First Age in chapters. More time, like the First Age is... The First Age in the years recorded by the Years of the Sun is twice the length of the Third Age, and yet he covers it in a tiny space of time in the Silmarillion. So you can't really get into it as much as you'd get into Lord of the Rings, because you're not reading a story. You're not hoping the characters succeed or things like that.
Half the enemy. If we continue like this,
so I didn't get as much enjoyment out of it. Now I am really interested in the Valar, because I've always found Greek mythology very interesting, and I like the idea of a pantheon, and the Valar very much represent a sort of pantheon, or as many people say, they're more like angels really, like archangels and angels. But I still think they're really interesting. But the First Age itself I don't find that interesting, because, and you may find this as a bit of a shock, but I don't think the elves are all that interesting. Elves are...
the enemy general abandons his men.
Probably because Tolkien's elves are kind of the elves that we all think of, and everything is kind of built off of them. So Tolkien took like the idea of minor fairies, like little things that might protect your house or fly around with wings and things, and he turned them into elves. And then almost every fantasy since then has been based off of Tolkien's elves, or any elves that we know
Let all
of.
who remember this day, remember it as the day of our most glorious victory.
Woodland Warden's got the most there. And even indeed, like even things in like Warhammer 40,000, for example, there's heavy inference that the Eldar are essentially that universe's version of elves. So that there's this elven influence everywhere, and I don't really find the elves that interesting. I find the dwarves far more interesting, and I find the Númenóreans incredibly interesting. Now, that's not to say I don't like elves, but I don't think they're the most interesting thing in the Legendarium, and almost the entire First Age deals with just the elves. I mean, yes, the humans come along eventually, and they do play a part, and they play quite a major part, and there's little stories that involve humans, and of course they eventually get Númenor out of that. But when they finally become Númenóreans is when I finally start taking an interest in them. And so that's why I've always strayed away from doing First Age videos, because I personally don't care that much about the First Age. So it's where we're at. But that was like a 12-minute long explanation of just nothing, wasn't it? So I apologise for that. Anyway, we won that battle. Very much by not paying attention, really. But that's the joy of the elves. You don't have to pay attention and you still win. Right, now the question here is, do we give this back? Do we return Dwinberg to the Vale of the Anduin? The Dwarves of Erebor have taken the Greyland Vales. They have not yet taken Dane's Halls. But Anduin definitely have Celeborg. And Lothlorien have got the Gladden Fields. The Orcs of the Misty Mountains have got the Gladden Marshes, which is north of the river. So the question is... Oh, and according to this as well, the Misty Mountains have taken the Anduin Valley, which would suggest that the men of the Anduin have only got Celeborg and... What's this one called? Leotholt. And that's it. That could be all they own, according to our most recent updated stats. Ah, no, look, they've also got Framsburg. But then I don't really want them to have Dwinberg, because I think it'll be wasted on them. We can do more with Dwinberg than they'll be able to do with it.
Follow me.
Assail them! Our land, sire!
Take it for the elves.
We must defend these lands!
Get rid of them. So yeah, no, I am going to keep it.
Scout the area.
Come, my brother!
I'm not even bothered, mate. We're going to hold on to it, because I don't think that they'll be able to hold on to it, and I can't risk it falling into the Misty Mountains' hands. It's too close to our homeland.
Over here, elves!
So we will build the artist studio, is the moral of that long and engaging story. Right, so the army will recoup there for a turn, and let's end the turn. We'll go from there. Ah, Carverad, we found it. Perfect. So that's really everything that I was going to say. We'll go and watch Big Fellow's video, and I might potentially do some more DaC related videos myself in the future as well, because I would quite like to return to purely informative DaC videos alongside the Let's Plays. Right, Mordor is meeting us. I didn't realise that Miss Deed had changed the image for the Elves as well, which is cool because they look pretty good. But we are defending against quite a sizable army, actually. I thought we'd get more forces in that. It used to give you like 8 woodland warriors, woodland wardens. The trolls, we need to kill the trolls. Also, the archers can fire through the walls, so that's going to be a bit of a problem. Captain Teletharden versus Uglat. We are outnumbered more than 2 to 1, but apparently the strength ratio is 1 to 1.
Sweep them away!
Alright, we can do it, we can do it. Have faith! Oh, I also wanted to say a massive thank you to every single one of you who who crashed. Bear with me. Hello. The log gave absolutely no reasons to why that crashed, and indeed the last related event in the log was actually a full 10 seconds before it crashed, so I don't know what that was. But we're here now, and we're working, and we're good to go. And I don't really like this battle map very much at all, I must confess. It's nice to have custom settlements, and I do like to have them in because they do add a little bit of variety. But some of them are a right ball ache to work with. This is right up there. But it does look pretty good from outside with the, not with the constantly turning on and off waterfalls, but the gate looks good. I'm all over, but I'm all about that gate. As Megan Trainor would say, she's all about that gate. Right. This time we're going to defend said gate, and we're going to try and create something of a javelin-infused carnage. Oh no, because the archers can fire through the walls. Now their goal is going to be to get to the square, which is here. Now they're going to probably make a beeline for that. I can't imagine they'd do anything else. So what we might do instead is fight them off down here. I can't imagine them going all the way around, and even if they do, we've got troops to hold both sides. No, the gate's normally way easier to hold, isn't it? And our defenders can go into shield wall. No, we'll endure. So you three return to the square, because we'll try and cut down casualties of our own units. Oh, there we are, having a right nightmare. Alright, you three. Oh, I didn't press play. On my smartwatch. Right, so I'm going to take the tactic that many of you have told me, which is where if you catch the enemy, then they stall and they stand still, and so then you're a bit more freer to throw javelins into their faces. Right, let's just try and get you for there-ish. That'll do for now. Don't run away. Make sure that none like sneak through there. And you're all on defense, and move slightly further back, because I know what you're like. You creep forward at every single opportunity, you dirty buggers. Alright, start battle. One there. One there. One there. One there. Speed it up, zoom in. So what was I saying? Yes, I wanted to say a massive thank you to every single one of you who sent your wishes on to me for my not getting that job. I am incredibly thankful. It is nice to know that there are people, even though we've never met, that do genuinely want the best for you, and so for that I can only say my sincere thanks. Are you actually throwing your javelin?
The enemy are battering down the gates!
No. Also, in totally unrelated news, on Tuesday, or in the Steam sale, I bought Attila, and it is a huge improvement over Rome. I mean,
Blast their eyes.
It's a tricky
the
one.
enemy's ram is through our gates.
I do agree that because a lot of the comments that I was reading basically said Attila is a better game, but Rome 2 is set in a better time period, and I would completely agree with that. I loved my time in Rome 2 when I played as the Spartans. I really enjoyed it. And of course, this time you're a lot more limited to basically raiders on horses, raiders with axes, or dying Romans, and that's kind of your options. And I'm not really too thrilled with any of those options. But they've definitely taken on board the feedback from all of the complaining about Rome. For example, the UI of the buildings has returned to actually usable UI. You look at it and you can see that's a farm or that's a blacksmith. It's not some stylized icon of like a sword and a shield or something like that to mark a blacksmith. And the UI of the units has returned to their actual in-game image put into a picture, much like it is in Med 2. So all of that I think is a big bonus. Right, here's the target that we've got the javelins for. I want all of you to throw the javelins at those trolls. Get as many throws in as you can. Ignore our own men, or don't even worry about our own men. Just throw javelins at those trolls. If the trolls go down and then the general follows quite swiftly afterwards, the battle is won. But so it does mean a lot that you all said that you all were disappointed for me. I mean, I am genuinely pleased, and I wanted to thank you all very much for that. It means more than you know, is all I can say. Oh, not a single troll has fallen, even though we're flinging javelins at them. Probably killing way more of our own men at the moment than we are the trolls. Shame, really. Alright, turn your attention then to those Uruk bodyguards instead. Now, the bonus of the Woodland Wardens is that once they have thrown their javelins, they are actually really formidable melee troops. They're some of the Woodland Realm's best early game melee, so you've always got support even when they run out of javelins. I did just notice one troll went down, and even one troll's better than no trolls. But we definitely are killing a lot of our own. 52 Uruk bodyguards remain. How have they not thrown all their javelins? But they... Oh, because those two are safe and those two are too close. Oh look, they are running around the edge. Weirdos. Go over there just to be sure. Get yourselves into position. That was the other thing that I've absolutely loved. All I've played on Attila so far is the prologue, and I played about 2 to 3 turns as the Saxons, and I lost my entire army in turn 1. I was a bit blasé. And you're at quite a disadvantage when you come to a new Total War game, because in Med 2, and not in Med 2, in DaC and Third Age Total War, the game I play more than any other, I know what every single unit can do at a quick glance. I'll glance at this army and I know your capability, your capability, your capability, your capability. And in the other game, all I've got to go on is their name. So I know that like levy units are going to be weaker than mainstream, but there's no real clear indication until you've used the units what exactly they're capable of. And it's a real problem. I really struggled, and I had no idea who could do what. I mean, a quick look at their stats confirmed they were all pretty basic, but normally, like, these two units are the Woodland Realm's best, Woodland Realm's worst, sorry, they're two basic units. But I still, straight away looking at them, know exactly what they can handle and what they can handle. And it's the same for most factions. So when you come to a new one, you feel like starting a new school or something. You've got to make all these new friends. I'd like you lot to throw your javelins, so if you could very kindly run away from the trolls. I know that you take losses when you run away, but even if like 20 of you survive, you'll be able to throw a lot more javelins. Why have you just ended up standing still then and dying? Can I ask what the logic behind that was? Daft bastards. How many of the enemy have we killed? 20%, and they've killed 38% of us. I want you to just throw javelins, regardless of whether or not 2 of your company are under attack. There we are, they're out. Right, fire everything you've got. You three form a line. They aren't actually coming around that edge, are they? So you might as well come up behind these. Well done. Can't you move anywhere? Do as you're told! Come on, you've got loads of javelins. Get involved. Oh, now they're blocking their path. Get out of the way, there we go. We come from the Woodland realm. Someone's attacking you in the back. Ignore him. Keep throwing javelins. We've lost almost 50%. They've lost about 40%, but the odds are evening. The trolls are all dead, and these elves here have now held for a substantial amount of time, actually. So much so that I think we can probably go on the offensive a bit. Crank that up. Keep throwing javelins into the middle. Just keep peppering them.
Our men have slain the enemy
Oh, the
general.
enemy general's died.
Troops will lose their will to fight.
Oh, now is the chance to get a mass rout, gentlemen. Oh, if only we'd moved them out just a few seconds quicker, we could have capitalised on that route straight away. Ah, it doesn't matter. It's happening. It's happening.
Only half the enemy force remains.
You just wait till they attack into the side there. Boosh. Oh, look at that carnage. Look how many of them just ran away then. Madness.
Only half our force remains.
Oh, that doesn't matter. We're capturing so many of them now. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. 70% of the enemy have now died. In the time that we've now lost 5%, they have gone from, what was it, 37%? 37% to 79? Or was it 47%? No, it was around 37, wasn't it? So, the death of their general and a well-timed attack from the flank by ourselves has caused vast routing amongst their number, and we're now just cutting them down like they don't even exist. Keep going, keep going. Who's still fighting? The orc archers? No, they're running away as well. Oh, there we are. Those orc archers haven't run away yet. Yeah, break out, break out. It will be over soon. But someone is still fighting. I don't actually know who. We might have to wait till the clock winds down, which is
The enemy army
no, there we
flees
are.
the field. Pursue and run them down.
If you quit before you get that sign, then you don't get the victory. Just thought we might be able to catch just a few more, you know. Although I don't think we will. There's not really any need to either, is there? Oh, of course not, because this is a Mordor army. No, what does it matter? They'll abandon anyway.
Awed by the victory we have
Excellent
won here
victory.
today.
What should we call this? Defending the water features. The delightful on and off fountains that we have, if you're wondering why I'm going to call it that. And the winner this time, 487, was the Woodland Wardens. Good kill rate there, very good kill rate. The capture prize, however, goes to Woodland Wardens with 397, and the Woodland Warriors, they're 130. So. All in all, a phenomenally good victory. Ah, there we are. Oh, no, I need to get rid of that now. Get rid of that.
We've defeated their wretched armies.
Get rid of that. Perfect. We've defeated their wretched armies. So I'm quite pleased. I'm looking forward to playing Attila because it does just feel better. There's family trees. There's better UI. There's a lot more options when you take a settlement. There seems to be more building options. There's even a building tree now. You can see what you might actually be able to build in the line, which is all good. And also, interestingly, on my computer, for some weird reason, the graphics on Rome 2, when I set them, NVIDIA auto-detects and the game both auto-detects that I can play on the absolute highest graphics level, and that's what my computer can handle. So naturally I obliged, and I put everything up to the best that I can have it. And, but interestingly on Rome 2, there's like an odd blurriness to the campaign map. And I can't quite pin my finger on what the problem is, but in Attila that's totally gone. So that's another reason why I'm enjoying playing Attila over Rome, because it just seems to be a little bit better. It looks a bit better. But I don't know what that is about, because when I played Rome 2 on my older computer, it never had a blurry haziness about it. That's an entirely new feature, so I don't know. But anyway, I'm enjoying playing Attila. But anyway, that will end the episode there. So thank you very much for watching, if indeed you have. Thank you all for the words of support with the information from the other day. I am gutted, and indeed I even at work today bumped into someone I studied on the LPC with, and she's now on a training contract, the jammy bugger. But you can't let these things get you down. You have to just keep ploughing on, because there's always someone in the world somewhere who has got it infinitely worse than you have, and you just have to remind yourself of that. It's not the end of the world. So I am pleased to have brought you this episode without being negative or annoyed or concerned or anything like that. And I do thank you for enduring the odd day off that we've had, but we'll continue in a line now through to Sunday. I will try and get that second half of that Heroes of Might and Magic video done, just so that it's a nicely round and complete. But then, as I say, after that, I'll probably stop doing random games on Sundays for some time. Indeed, for quite a considerable time, because I want to only do 5 videos a week, full stop. And that will, so eventually it will turn to 3 DaC videos, another Total War video, and then possibly something else. And that something else is I'm hoping to be more DaC related information coinciding with the release of 1.1, which is now really close. So all in all, very, very good. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navar Naden Pedimad Melonin, and farewell.